Hi, let me ask you some questions regarding alcohol. 1. Have you ever drunk alcohol? 2. Why did you drink alcohol? And 3. Do you still drink alcohol? I want you to answer these questions honestly, and I want you to think about why people drink alcohol at all. For me, answering these questions would be 1. Have you ever drunk alcohol? Yes. With a frequency of multiple times a month for like 7 years. Sometimes too much, but as a habit, it never really got out of hand. 2. Why did you drink alcohol? Mostly because of the social settings I found myself in were almost synonymous with drinking alcohol. Those events are something to look forward to because they make life fun. I get to hang out with friends and we may get a little crazy. And question number 3, do you still drink alcohol or have you quit? Would be, I currently don't drink alcohol anymore and I don't really plan to drink alcohol ever again. About 9 months ago, I was thinking to myself, why are we really drinking alcohol so regularly, even though we know the negative consequences? Or maybe we don't know the negative consequences. It's not like there are any positives that outweigh the negatives. So I had this idea of making this video about why I quit alcohol because it's very important to me and I know the benefits of it now that I've committed myself to it. And I want to read a tweet thread by Kris Ograbek. It's a random guy I stumbled across on Twitter, and he talks about a podcast episode by Andrew Huberman regarding alcohol. And yeah, he shares his lessons of why drinking alcohol or not drinking alcohol is so beneficial. So let's dive into the tweet thread by Kris Ograbek. Can one podcast episode change your life? On the 29th of August 2022, I listened to the Huberman Lab podcast. I haven't touched alcohol ever since. 10 lessons from Huberman Lab that made me quit alcohol after 18 years of regular drinking. 1. You're poisoning your body when you drink alcohol. Your liver metabolizes alcohol into acetaldehyde. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It is a poison to your brain and your body, and it kills cells. Being drunk is a poison-induced disruption. Alcohol damages your brain. You have a well-protected blood-brain barrier, but alcohol can easily pass through it and directly damage your brain. It gets where most damaging substances can't. And that leads to neurons degeneration, thinning prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for thinking, memory, planning, or suppressing impulsive behavior. I'm sure you can imagine what impulsive behavior involves with alcohol. And point number 3 is a thinning neocortex, the area responsible for higher cognitive functioning. Alcohol damages your gut microbiome. It kills your good bacteria and healthy gut microbiota. It causes a leaky gut, so toxins and other harmful substances can effortlessly enter your brain and body. Alcohol disrupts your natural gut protection. So if it disrupts your natural gut protection, you can, logically agree that the optimal alcohol intake is 0. Even moderate amount of alcohol per week, maybe like 2 or 3 drinks, has a negative impact. Not drinking is always the best choice. No scientific research has proven any positive impact of alcohol on your health, period. Alcohol permanently increases the stress level. Regular drinkers produce more cortisol even during sober days, and cortisol is the stress hormone. The more you produce, the more stressed and the more anxious you become. So you're literally becoming more stressed and anxious by drinking alcohol, which in turn may make you drink more alcohol, and that turns into a feedback loop of more stress, more drinking, worse health, so more stress, and yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. Be aware of it. Alcohol reinforces your lizard brain. The lizard brain is the most primitive part of your brain. Alcohol boosts the lizard brain even when you're sober. Regular alcohol intake strengthens impulsive behavior, as we've read earlier, and habitual behaviors. Your emotional stability diminishes. So, when drinking alcohol, you basically allow your emotions to get out of control, and you basically start to act and think more like an animal rather than a human being. Point number 8. Alcohol disrupts sleep. Even if you sleep like a baby after alcohol, the quality of your sleep is terrible. The quality of your sleep is essential to your cognitive and physical performance. Seriously, improving the quality of your sleep is very important to leading a healthy and good life. So, yeah, the quality of your sleep getting lowered impacts your emotional stability as well. And then we are at one of the last, but not the least, point of not drinking alcohol. Alcohol increases cancer risk. The risk of breast cancer among women is highest. And to me it's just nonsensical to increase the risk of cancer. And if not drinking alcohol benefits that in any way, to me it's a no-brainer. And point number 10, damage to the prefrontal cortex and neocortex is reversible within 2 to 6 months of abstinence, so not drinking alcohol at all. The exceptions are chronic abusive drinkers, people who drink like 12 plus drinks per week for several years. Think about this. If you drink maybe 6 glasses of alcohol on 2 weekend days per week for a couple of years, you're already considered a chronic abusive drinker, and you will permanently damage your brain. How much is that worth to you? So, about 9 months ago, I decided to quit alcohol, at least for a while at the time. I made a commitment to not drink until my military graduation, where alcohol is served regularly for the people who complete the training. Unfortunately, I was not able to finish my training, but I still haven't resumed drinking alcohol. I kept thinking to myself, alcohol never made me a better person, and choosing not to drink always seemed wiser than drinking in any social setting. Before, it seemed I thought I needed alcohol to get out of my comfort zone and conform to the social setting, and I suddenly started thinking, if I need alcohol to feel more comfortable, there's obviously something wrong with my self-esteem. And I thought, I can work on that. And I should work on that. Proactively. And I am working on that proactively. And one pro tip, being proactive is one of the most important habits you can have in your life. I highly recommend a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Drinking is not something I miss. I feel more aware of all the benefits not drinking brings. I can always drive myself anywhere. I don't feel sick during the night or in the morning. I save plenty amounts of money. And that's just the immediate visible results. Long term, it really is a game changer. Alcohol is known for long-term health consequences and would be considered a hard drug if it were introduced today. Alcohol increases the risk for cancer even with 1 or 2 glasses per week. Yet society has adopted drinking as something that's completely normal, and to me that's nonsensical. I want to tackle this narrative. Again, the optimal alcohol intake is 0. I don't want to judge you for choosing to drink alcohol, but I do want to make people aware that life can be just as good, if not way better, not drinking any alcohol. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope you will think for yourself what role alcohol plays in your life, and that you make a decision for what it will play in the future. I highly recommend checking out Andrew Huberman's podcast episode on drinking alcohol. I will leave a link in the description and in the comments. And I want to cheer to your health. I love you, dear stranger.